one of the things. All right, you guys don't know what I'm talking about on Facebook. That's fine. I cannot help you build these assets and really do this until we get past and through step number 3. All right? Step number 3 is to accept reality. These are the secrets of internet marketing they don't want you to know. These really are the secrets of internet marketing they don't want you to know, because this will kill sales in a minute. It's real hard to sell this message that I'm about to give you. Number 1, this is not easy. This is awful. It is the biggest pain in the butt ever. Man, the reason you get $2,000 or 2,000% return on the ad spend is because it's hard. It's like combat. Every day, something is going to break. As a matter of fact, these results are typical. Okay, lawyers be damned. It is not going to work the first time. When you get in this game, you are definitely going to lose money. No question. So if that scares you, good. More room for me. Okay? Now, the trick is you don't have to lose a lot of it. You don't want to go and stick 20 grand in Facebook like tomorrow. I wouldn't advise that. Won't let you. If I'm physically near you, I'll say, don't stop it. Start at like $20 today and see what happens. But it's never going to work as planned, ever, ever, ever. I've seen it happen one time, 17 years, Trey Smith. He's the only natural I have ever seen, my cousin. No one else, I've never seen it. First time for him. Boop, home run. I'm like, man. And he's got the metabolism of like a 10-year-old. Well, what'd you have for breakfast? 3 bagels with sausage and cheese, and the guy's like this big. I'm like, man, I don't even like you. I'm de-cousining him. Dana, where's Dana Palmer as an attorney? Where are you? Could you draw up a formal petition to de-cousin? I'm de-cousining my cousin Trey. I'm jealous. This takes risk. Them's the facts, man. You're looking for the low-risk, easy button. It doesn't exist. It's not going to happen. That's why joint ventures and all of that free traffic is so popular. Because what it's really saying is, I'm too scared to really risk capital, so let me expend all of this money trying to figure out the loophole. Here's what's funny. It costs more time and money to try to learn and deploy the loopholes than it does to just run the stupid ads. That's always amazed me. Like a dude will spend, $10, $15, $20, $30, $40,000 on education and never place a $20 ad. Never place $100 because this fear. What if it doesn't work? It ain't gonna work. At first, you gotta keep doing it. I mean, how many, we got gentlemen here, I'm gonna try to say this without being offensive. Fellas, you remember being like from the age of 3 seconds old until now, when all you thought of all day was how to express your love? Trying to keep it clean. That's all all day, every day. Listen, there's 2 things men think about. There's one of them's food, the other one's not food, okay? The first time you went and tried to get a girl to even go out with you, were you successful? Of course not. You just weren't. I mean, I was. She didn't know at the time. She didn't exist. What was it, old Jim, my girlfriend in Niagara Falls, But it never worked. Nothing works the first time, so quit freaking out about it. You always got to be messing with this. So this whole presentation would be a great point for me to be like, now next month, I can just put that same 28 grand back in, and I know I'm going to get $50,000 again. Buy my stuff. It's not true. You're always turning the dials, always hitting refresh. Always something's going to break every single time. So what happens in this business, the real business, is this is going to be amazing, and then something's going to break. You're like, God dang it, something done broke. And then you go and you'll fix it, and then back up again. That's all. All right. So what we have here is a picture of an outfit called Dog Company. Dog Company, let me ask you a question. It looks like everyone here is about significantly older than me because I'm 20. Man, I used to speak, and I'd be like, man, everybody's old. I'm speaking to all these middle-aged white people. And now I am a middle-aged white person. And now like a lot of you guys are younger than me, and this is unsettling. Stop it, all right? I have become the guy I made fun of. I wear golf shirts. Terrible. Huh? What are you going to do? Republican. I complain about taxes now. This is Dog Company. Dog Company, United States Army Rangers. These were one of the many units and companies that took Normandy and all that happy party time during World War II, all right? So y'all are about my age. Raise your hand if you had a grandfather who fought in World War II. Okay, me too, 2 of them. And then I had a step-grandfather, and he fought too. My grandparents, my grandfather and my grandmother, my mother's side, married and divorced each other twice. Thank you. Georgia, you know. He married rich the second time around, is what he did. But then he divorced her again. She was awesome, but she remarried. So I got 3 dudes that were in my family that fought in World War II. We would not be here if these gentlemen were responding to ads like, U.S. Army Rangers, anyone can do it. How many of you guys are veterans of Marine Corps or Army or something? When you were in basic, did the DI, was he like, you got this? Come on in, boys. This is gonna be, you can do this. This is going to be fun. No, he did not. But if our grandparents had bought into that, we would be probably not here. A lot of us wouldn't be here. My children wouldn't exist because my wife's family's Jewish. Nazis would have wiped them out, right? The quick and easy way to win, and I was having fun making this slide. The quick and easy way to win in combat. I mean, we'd be like, we'd be hosed, right? We'd be speaking German or Japanese, or probably the whole world would have imploded anyway because everybody was so crazy, except America, obviously. We're perfect. Said only Americans, right? We're the only people who think that way on the planet, but we're still right. Okay, this is a great one. No training, no ammo, no problem. How many times have you seen no list, no product, no problem? Really? Yeah, man, no problem, buddy, you got it. Can you make money with no list and no product? Yeah, short term you can, sure. Can a half-trained guy go over there and shoot one enemy soldier? Yeah, maybe. He gets lucky, right? But he's not going to win. You're not going to win with that mindset. You're not going to win with that belief system. So if you cannot buy into the opiate that is being injected into your mind. Media, politicians, people who want to sell you the easy button are going to be pushing the smack on you forever. You have got to understand reality. If you want to win, and actually, I'm not talking about make $1 million a year or whatever, but really build something for your family, for your grandkids. If you want to affect an entire community, ain't easy. Get it out of your head, okay? This is the best right here. Dog Company missed the drop zone. So these guys are flying over, all right? I think they went from Georgia. Does anyone remember this? I haven't read the book. I should really know this. There's a great book about Dog Company. It is strangely entitled Dog Company. Guys go from Fort Benning, airplane. All right, man, we're going to do this D-Day. They're probably freaking out, We're going to land here. Germans are here. We're going to do all this. It's probably going to be pretty rough, but we got this. It was so foggy, they missed. So they're like 13, 14 miles into enemy territory against the Germans, who were just the sweetest bunch of people. Just a bunch, like, hey, we're going to need you guys to stop with all of this trying to take over the world. Oh, dude, we're so sorry. I didn't know it. Okay, you guys can go home now. No, right? The bad MFs, mean old boys over there. I don't want to mess with those guys. So, no. So it ain't going to work the first time. If they would have had I expect it to be easy, or I'm going to give up at my first challenge thing, we'd be screwed. We'd be speaking German, right? Now, I want to show you something funny. I'm thinking about the dog company story when I'm building these slides. I'm immune to that sound because I have 4 children. You can bring 100 of them in here, I'm still going to function normally. I'm literally thinking, is that mine? Is that Katya? Is that my niece? Is that my buddy? You know. So I'm doing the search on Google Images for dog company. And I found a lot of reenactments of dog company, which is just strange. It's not like those guys had any fun. Let's go dress up like these guys who were absolutely miserable for like 5 years, and most of them died. And then I found this. This is a band called Dog Company. And I think this really gives a great visual contrast between what it takes and what you're being told. So I'm going to ask you, right now I'm going to ask you guys, which dog company do you want to be a member of? All right? It's your choice. Nothing wrong with these dudes. I don't know them. I'll just let it sit right there. All right? Which company are you going to join? Because there ain't but 2, right? So, accept reality. With that said, now that I have yelled at you and flogged you and told you how horrible it's going to be, Boogeyman ain't so bad. We're not killing Nazis, right? Here's what's going to happen. Here are the 4 things that can go wrong. So all you guys who've always been afraid to advertise or who it didn't work for or whatever, here's the 4 things that's going to go wrong. First of all, traffic, okay? Is there a shortage of traffic? No. Here's how lucky we are right now, all right? Are people still watching this, Aura? How many are watching it?
We were up at 6, and then we ran out, so now we have 5:26.
So that we lost him when I told him how hard it was going to be. It died, didn't it? It only does it for 30 minutes at a time or something. Yeah. All right, so we got 500-something people watching. I didn't send it to my list. I just stuck it on Facebook, hit a button. We've never had this much opportunity. You can get traffic anywhere. I mean, Facebook, you can target people by how much money they make, whether they're married, there's Google Display, and all the data providers are now starting to work together. So the targeting across all channels of media is getting so much tighter, and it costs next to nothing to do, right? Like I ran a video campaign. We're going to learn a lot about traffic this weekend. I pay a lot of money to people to teach me and to run traffic for me, and I just piggyback off of their results and make it look like I'm smart. But the actual smart guys are coming this weekend. We ran a video campaign, a video views campaign, and there was one of it, I was seen by 80-something thousand people for under like 0.00004 cents per person watching the video. We've never had that before. In the history of the human civilization, we've never been able to reach people, all right? So traffic's not a problem. If you're not getting traffic, the good news is you're probably not spending any money, so shut up, all right? I ain't getting any traffic. How much do you spend on ads? Nothing, okay? Well, there you go. If you are spending money on ads, it's copy, all right? You just change the copy. It's going to take a little while to get it flowing, always does. Next thing, most campaigns online, you drive traffic to some sort of lead capture mechanism. So the next thing that can and definitely will break is going to be opt-ins. They're coming, walking by the store, but they're not coming in. Totally normal, right? How do we fix it? Change the copy, change the images. It's not that hard. There's a library down the road, got a gazillion books on how to write ads, read one, right? Or we can take a little shortcut this weekend. I'll show you some stuff that's working as well. But that's it. Next thing is engagement. They're opting in, but they're not opening and clicking my emails. What do you change? This really is how I type, by the way. Type it. That's all. Just change what you're saying in the emails until they engage. And finally, conversion. These are the 4 things that can go wrong. None of these are that bad. All right? So it's not like we're buying an apartment complex and it can get blown up, you know, or the market can go down, which, by the way, if you understand true marketing, it doesn't matter if the market goes down. You can run ads, write letters, create your apartment complex that used to be great. If market went bad, no one lives there anymore. You can rename it to Shadowy Oaks for a community of physicians. For the single physician who is too busy to deal with the troubles of daily life, we now have Shadowy Oaks, right? Rebrand it. Send a letter out to physicians in your area. Next thing you know, instead of having a bunch of crackheads, you got physicians living in your, you can do anything with advertising is the point. So if your conversion is low, what are you changing? Copy. We're typing. It's not that big of a deal, all right? So step number 4 is to know your real numbers, okay? I cannot believe I'm on stage in front of hundreds of people talking about mathematics. Next thing you know, I'm going to be talking to you about not partying, which I just realized I actually sent you an email that said, hell has officially frozen over. Please don't party too much because we've got a lot of work to do. You never know, I mean, life is a crazy, crazy road. Anyway, I failed math, by the way. Sandra Williamson, I would assume she's retired right now. If she isn't, don't fire her high school that I went to. Oh, good, this isn't broadcasting now. I failed. The only reason I graduated high school is because Sandra Williamson liked the Grateful Dead. Sandra Williamson was my college algebra teacher. I went to an overpriced private school, and apparently if you take algebra and you call it college algebra, then people will pay more for their children to go there. So I failed it. Senior year high school, failed. Can't graduate. I was a big Grateful Dead fan. Had my, Grateful Dead t-shirt on, super baked every day. Probably why I failed college algebra. Real hard to do algebra, went very high, by the way. At least it was for me. Anyway, so I'm in there, and she goes, Frank, I need to talk to you. I'm like, oh, okay, I know what's coming. It's not a surprise. Oh, I failed? Who knew, right? She's like, you have failed college algebra. And then she looks, and it was pencil, and this is when they kept everything on a ledger, right? She just erases the failing grade and puts C-. She goes, you've always been my favorite deadhead, get out of here. I'm like, yes. So you don't have to be a mathematical genius, and we all know math isn't an exact science anyway, but you do need to know your real numbers, all right? So let's say you want to do $1 million a month in revenue, right? It's a lot better than 6 figures a year. You know what you're going to do with 6 figures a year? Pay most of it in taxes and then wish you made more money. We got to aim a little bit higher. By that I mean a lot higher. That way if you miss, you're still doing pretty good. Hang on, I'm losing my way. Y'all doing good so far? We all right? Quiet bunch. Y'all hung over? Did my email not work? I couldn't sleep last night, man. I was stoked. I'm like, man, this is going to be so good. I can't wait to tell them all this stuff. I was up till probably 2 in the morning just sitting there. Damn it. Can't sleep. Can't sleep anyway. I really couldn't sleep last night. So if we want to make $1 million a month, $12 million a year, that's $32,876.71 a day. Okay? So thing number 2 is let's just say all factors remained constant, and every dollar I put in the machine got me $1.80.46 back. So at the constant rate of return, that means I would need to spend $18,218.28 a day on ads. Kind of makes it tighten up a little bit down there. Hey, that's a big check. It's not if you know what's coming back. You never want to start at that level unless you just got more money than sense, and then you're not going to have much money for long, right? But that's what it would take. I'd need to spend 18 grand a day at that current rate of return to generate 31 grand in sales every day, okay? So that's a big one. By the way, I'm giving you terrible numbers deliberately. These numbers are awful. I'll tell you why in a minute. They're accurate, but they're awful. After merchant fees, figure a 10% refund rate. If you're in direct response, figure a 10% refund rate, especially if you have really heavy on your guarantee like me. Like, I'm stupid about the guarantee. You can just have it anyway. Genius. I don't care, whatever. You know what I mean? There's more customers out there. I can make money anyway. Maybe someone will use it later. Give it to a friend. I've had that happen so many times. I get so many stories. Man, I stole your stuff. I stole it. I had a dude send me a picture of his car. Hey, man, here's a picture of me. I don't know this guy. I'm getting the letters A from a dude. Always guys. Man, I got a crazy one the other day, though. I got like bonkers crazy the other day. Dude sends me a letter. Here's a picture of me in my new car. Like any minute now, there's going to be a picture of something that looks like a hot dog. I don't want to see this. There was not, all right? I bought this car with the money I made from Mass Control, which I got online illegally. Awesome. That's why I don't care. Just steal all my stuff if you want to. I mean, go nuts. If it works for you, you'll come. He bought stuff later on. I bought a lot of stuff. So if we subtract our ad costs, right, that means the net profit before overhead is 10 grand a day, $10,384.45 per day. All right? That's not as exciting as $30,000 a day, is it? Well, it's still pretty good. 10 grand a day ain't bad. I mean, of course, we're going to give 97% of that now to the Democratic Party. So Are you not supposed to talk about politics and the big live broadcasting? So that's $3.79 million a year, okay, and gross profit. But the key word here is real. You've got to know your real numbers, all right? It's really hard to sell people how to make money stuff when you tell them how hard it is to actually make money. But the ones who hustle make a lot of money, and the ones who don't deserve the money in the first place, okay? So now we're at 3.79, not too shabby. However, you got expenses, right? So I'm assuming I'm selling information because that's my business. I sell information products, which means I don't employ the factory in China. There are no Chinese children making my information products, all right? That was funny. Come on, you guys got it. That's pretty. Yeah, I mean, you're a horrible person. Of course you laugh. That's pretty good. All right. Unless you're the parent of a Chinese child, then it's actually tragic. But my miscellaneous expenses, staff and stuff like that, is about $465 a year to run our little dog and pony show. Okay, so that means the net profit in this scenario would be $3.3 million and change. Okay, so why am I showing you this? Number one, that's the real math. Okay, so in order to get big numbers, so if your goal is this, you're going to have to do like this to get this, okay? And the effort that it takes to do this is like my arms aren't big enough. It's like if we all held hands in a circle, it'd be that much effort, okay? So that's life. That's the way it is. That's real. That's how this business works. Now, the great news here is these numbers are terrible because what I'm figuring on is I'm just using March's data. I'm not factoring in the money that those new subscribers are going to continually spend with me over time. So that doesn't factor in lead compounding. That doesn't factor in behavioral dynamic response. It doesn't factor in follow-up marketing to the people who didn't buy. Did all 7,000 people who came from ads last month buy my stuff? No. They're intelligent, rational people. Of course not, right? They have questions. They need to know me better. They need to see more value from me before they make the decision. That's fine. That's why we have the stuff I'm going to be sharing with you today, all right? So that's important. You got to know your real numbers. Most people underestimate the task at hand, all right? Step number 5, this is going to sound like motivational speaking. I guess to a degree it is. Simple 3-step process. Decide, commit, obsess. I really think I could take that on the road. Now, who here wants to be a millionaire? You're going to have to decide, commit, and obsess. That's going to sell exactly 0.01 tickets, I think, to the Frank Kern Motivational Speaking Show. The thing that will drive you is the reason why, okay? Period. There's nothing, if you don't have, I know this is basic, but if you don't really know why you're doing it, you ain't going to do anything. You're not going to do nothing, right? When I first started, well, actually, I'll show you the timeline here in a minute, but you've got to have a strong reason why. Dog company men boys really, these kids were teenagers. You know, I can say that now. I'm 44. I'll be 44 next month. I know, hide your surprise. I know I look 57, but I'll be 44 next month. So clean living escaped me. So this is what happens, you know. They had a strong reason why. They didn't want the man beside them to get killed, number one, right? Number two, they didn't want their wives and children raped and enslaved by Nazis. Think about what would happen if we lost? Would they just come over and be like, okay, hi, hey, guy, can we have your attention? We're the Germans. You might have heard of us, we're Nazis. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to hang different flags here and everything's going to be cool. No, dude, that's not what would have happened. There'd have been wife raping, child slaving going on. That's why Dog Company had that drive. No one in their right mind says, I'm going to scale this freaking cliff with Nazis machine gunning me. They have the drive. The drive is instilled by the why. So you really got to get in touch with the why. I mean, I really bet you not a single one of those men were like looking at their why. You know, those Germans seem really tough. Let's just go. We're going to try real hard to win. We're going to do our best. We're going to go over there. We're going to do our best. We can do it. I don't think that happened. I mean, when you guys were in the Corps, was a guy like, hey, You just need to do the best you can, son. You can do it. You get up there and no, you got this. No, doesn't happen. They were committed. They're like, we are going over there no matter what it takes. I'm going to kill every one of them. Every single one of them, and I'm going to bring their ears home to show my children as a trophy. That's what it takes, period. The end. You have to have that level of commitment, all right? I mean, we got military right now. What do you think? We're just going to go, we got Marines right now deploying. Honey, I'm going to be gone for a while. I'm just going to go over there. We're going to see if we can just talk to ISIS and we can get them to calm down on this not coming over here and raping you business. That's not the conversation that's happening. They are committed to wiping them off the face of the planet. So it takes that level of commitment, period. The end. Saying, I've decided to succeed and I'm committed is easy, isn't it? But it's just words. Without a strong thing to push you forward, it's words. So you got to figure out your why. Decide and commit now. I'm not going to give you the rah-rah. You know why you're here. Hey, and by the way, if your big driver is because you want a big freaking car and giant gold necklaces and a plane so you can shove them up the butt of the high school counselor that told you you'd never amount to anything, great. Whatever your reason is fine. Mine's 9 people. I support 9 people. So, and I like it. For me, it's a privilege. I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. I like being able to do that. Hey, man, I got this. I got this. I got my wife. I got 4 children. I got my sister-in-law. I got her kids. And she's not lazy or anything. They just live in Moldova. There's no opportunity there, really. So I take care of all of them. I got my ex-wife. Don't much care for taking care of her, really. That's not so much of a privilege. I frankly don't enjoy that very much. But the other stuff, privilege. That's what drives me. I like it. I like taking care of people. It's fun. So whatever your thing is fine, but you got to get in there, figure out what it is, and go for it. All right. Second one, or the next second one, is obsess. All right? So when it comes to our business, there's no such thing as set it and forget it. Remember I told you you're always going to be messing with this stuff. It's true. So you have got to be obsessed with victory. There's a tank battalion. I can't remember who it is. Elvis was in this battalion. Their motto was victory or death. I think it's the greatest motto ever. Axl Rose had it tattooed on his arm, right? Got to be obsessed, man. If you're not, you ain't going to get there. Mike Tyson was obsessed with victory. Muhammad Ali, obsessed with becoming the greatest in the world, right? If you're not, nothing's going to happen. Tony's got this book called Awaken the Giant Within, all right? What it should be entitled is Awaken the Russian Within. Y'all know any Russian people? Those dudes, you guys are insane. They will go and go and go. Like we talk about Dog Company and hey, Dog Company went over there and won World War II. And this is Russia. I mean, we helped a little bit, but Russia softened them up. They lost millions of people before we even got there, right? My wife is Ukrainian. She was born in Soviet Union. And she came over here, I think, 13 years ago or 15 years ago now. So after we had our first son, she's a model, by the way, with terrible taste in men. After we have our first son, Oxygen Magazine calls her up to do another photo shoot. She's does fitness model stuff, and this. So we're talking, and she's working out, and I'm talking to her about I don't even remember. I guess about the trip. We had to go to Canada, and she's training to get in shape because she just had our son, and she was in a coma before having him. Freaking coma, dude. Pumped full of drugs and stuff. Not the fun kind. The kind that we're going to have to administer your wife these drugs and put her in a coma so she doesn't die from pneumonia and respiratory failure. All right? Has baby, post-baby, weight stuff like so many women obsess over. And Oxygen Magazine is like, hey, can you do another shoot for us? She's like, yes. Number 1. Not, oh no, I can't do it. I just had a baby. I gotta wait. She's like, yep, when do you want me there? They said, 6 weeks. She's like, I got this. I'm talking to her. This is like week number 5, okay? And we're talking about something. And she's doing crunches. I'm watching her do the crunches. And she finally, and she's like, I'm talking to you right now. We're having a normal conversation. And she's on this medicine ball. And she's like, yeah, man, well, I think, we got to make sure the nanny's going to come. And where are we going to leave him? Because we're not taking him to Canada to do the shoot. It might have been the first time we'd ever left our son. And she goes, okay, 1,000. I'm like, what? What? She goes, yeah, that's 1,000. I got to do 1,000 every day to get this definition so it'll show up on camera. Obsession. Russians. Get to know Russian people and look how completely crazy and obsessed they are. So awaken the Russian within. I'm going to call Tony. Say, hey, man, you need to rename that book to Awaken the Russian Within. These people, they're machines, these guys. They're a completely unstoppable nation of people. Really, really good folks, by the way. Speaking of Tony, Tony's doing very, very well financially, as you would probably have guessed. How do you think he built that empire? By working like a rabid, frothing at the mouth pack mule. I know the guy, always working. I did an interview at his house a couple years ago. We fly down there. First of all, he gets the day wrong. I'm like, hey, dude, we'll be there at lunch. He's like, oh, man, y'all got to come tomorrow. I thought it was tomorrow. Well, I'm reading your email. It's today. He's like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry. I got 900 million things to do. Can you come tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, man, I can come tomorrow. It's no big deal. I'm happy to do it. Love the guy. Do anything for him. He doesn't pay me. I wouldn't take his money. I just like him. He's a good dude. So Natalia and I were like, sweet, we're going to stay down here in Palm Beach, Florida, another day. Right? So we get down there, and we're supposed to do the interview at like 1 or something. So we're met by, a lady that works for Tony, real nice lady. She makes us sign all the things. We will not impersonate Tony or try to steal his blood and sell it on the internet. I didn't sign my real name. I've signed it Abraham Lincoln, so if y'all want some Tony blood, I've got some for you. It's pretty potent. It tastes weird because he was all vegan and weird. But so anyway, it takes him like an hour or something to wrap up thing number 1 to get to where we're doing the interview. So then we do the interview. And the interview's like 7 years long or whatever. So next thing I know, it's like 9:30 at night. All right. Now, Big Buddy's been up, but I really don't think the guy sleeps. So he's been up all day grinding. And this is on a Saturday or Sunday or something. So it's 9:30 at night. Sage comes out. She's like, hey, man. She's like, hey, Frank, I tell you how y'all doing, all that stuff. Hey, man, dude has been waiting on you for an hour and a half for dinner. It's another business meeting. He was booked like up until 2 in the morning, this guy, grinding. If you want the big checks, you got to do the big work. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So you will work on this every day for the rest of your life or until you decide to retire, okay? That's the truth. If you want to be a businessman, you will be doing it forever. You can get in, you can never get out. Okay? That's the reality of the situation. So, now that I've told you how horrible it's going to be, I'll give you a little perspective. This is a block of roofing tiles. And this is a sledgehammer. All right? Y'all remember your first jobs? Y'all remember how horrible some of those jobs were? I was trying to think of like, what are the worst jobs I've ever had? So the worst one was this one. So I worked for this dude named Terry Zoltek, real cool guy, straight up hustler. He could figure out how to make a dollar from anything. And so somehow Terry had figured out that if you buy a bunch of surplus pieces of jet engines and crap from the military, like big chunks of metal and sharp, jagged death things that have already been broken, if you buy giant truckloads of those, and then you pay a bunch of doped up weirdos to smash them into pieces with a sledgehammer and take the tin and the copper and aluminum and sell it, you can then go sell that tin and copper and aluminum and make a profit. Who would figure that out? I was one of the doped up weirdos with the sledgehammer. It was terrible because it's not like you go from Wharton and you're like, wow, that was a pretty good experience at Wharton. I think I'm going to go get a job hitting giant pieces of metal engines with a sledgehammer until they break. So I'm over there working with a bunch of meth heads and prisoners and stuff, and it's me, and I'm like, okay. The second one was roofing. So I'll tell you what, it's a lot harder than most of the stuff we're going to do is carrying one of those damn things up a wobbly ladder and then hauling it up to a roof with a pitch like this in Georgia heat when you're hungover. Okay, so here's the thing. It ain't easy. But guys, our business is talking and typing. So I don't want to hear any whining. Here's why I say this. This was inspired by a guy named James. Last year, I taught this class called High Level Fellowships, where I met a lot of y'all, so I got to know Steve. And we had this dude, James, in there. It was a 6-month class. The first part of the class was just 6 weeks, modulated course. Here's week 1, here's week 2, here's week 3. So James is like, hey, man, he emails me, hey, man, I'm not going to be able to make my second payment or whatever. Can I stretch it? I'm like, stretch it out as long as you want. I don't care. Let's just get going. Let's get to work. And then he's like, hey, how long do I have until the guarantee runs out? I'm like, you have forever until just don't worry about it. Let's go. Let's get to work. Finally, like 6 or 7 months later, he writes me. He goes, man, I'm writing you with a heavy heart. I swear to God, this is like almost verbatim because it was hysterical to me. So I'm writing you with a heavy heart. I have worked so hard at this, and I have just not been able to succeed. So I'm going to have to ask for my money back, which was never even paid in full. He's real nice. It wasn't mad or anything. And the reason why is because I worked so hard, and I really put my heart into it, and I just couldn't get any results. And I almost completed Module 5. Module 5. That was 5 of week 6 of a 6-month program we had together. Put my heart into it. Almost got through Module 5. I almost sat in front of my computer and stared at a screen for an hour a week for 5 consecutive weeks. I put my heart into it, So come on. You got to quit your whining. It's typing and stuff. That's all it is. Magical step number 6 is expand your thinking and your skills. So here's where my mind went from, okay? First started out, had a job, hated the job, don't know why. Who wouldn't want to smash? Now I kind of think it'd be fun. You get about 15 Coors Lights and then get the sledgehammer. It's awesome. They didn't fuel us right for the work, right? So I wanted to work from home, right? How many of y'all started wanting to work from home? Man, I just want to work from home. I want to replace that. It's normal. That's where we start, And then it was, man, I want to make $1 million because that's what it says in the books and everything. We'll make $1 million, and it's good, man. I'll tell you right now, making $1 million is a lot better than not making $1 million. And then I want to make multiple millions of dollars a year consistently, right? And then I want to have a net worth of $100 million by age 50, right? So that's where my thinking has gone over the years, okay? You don't need to think the same way. I'm just giving you an example of the way this defective piece of machinery works here. Well, here's the thing, okay? Everyone tells you think big, think big, think big. Yeah, okay. Thinking big. I thought big for 5 weeks. I put my heart into it, man. Oh my gosh, he wrote me, he's like, do you have any advice for me going forward? I said, get a job. This is not for you. And that's okay, I wasn't hating. Just, man, we need people. We need qualified people in the workforce. Donald Trump's like, we need to build a wall to keep the Mexicans out. I'm like, no, we don't. I've been to Mexico. We need to take a lot of our stupid people and trade our stupid people for their unbelievably smart and hardworking people. That is what we need to do, right? That's going to go over really well. But that's what we need to do. So I don't think I would get elected on that one at all. But I'm right. Yeah. Dude, I like it down there. That's a good place. Those are good guys down there. Anyway, so yeah, think big. Wait, great. Thank you, Frank, so much for your sage advice on thinking big. It ain't the thinking, it's the skills you must acquire to make it work, right? So you have to have thinking plus skills plus action. So Dan Sullivan quote, one of my favorite quotes in the world. He might have gotten it from somebody else. I learned it from him. Same set of skills that got you out of Egypt will not get you to the promised land. They won't. When I wanted to work from home, my focus was, how do I write a sales letter? If I can just write a sales letter to make some sales, I can maybe make $10,000 a month working from home. That was it. I want to make $1 million. It's like, how do I get a bunch of affiliates to promote a launch for me so I can make $1 million in a day? Thought never crossed my mind that it was possible until John Reese did it. It's like he broke the 7-minute mile, or what, a 4-minute mile? For me, it's like the 7-week mile. You don't want to show off, all right? In order to make multiple millions per year consistently, I had to learn the skill of growing a team. That's not my natural ability, by the way. I work by myself, super introverted person, right? Had to learn how to grow a team and build assets. Had to learn a new skill. I had to learn about advertising and stuff. How to have a net worth of 100 million by 50, man, I got 6 years. I've got 6 years, 1 month, and what's today, the 23rd, and 7 days. That's all I got. I ain't got 100 million. So I got to get to work. Do I need new skills from the ones I have now? Of course. Man, this would be a great pitch to sell something. I don't have anything. I'm realizing this now. This could really be something. Anyway, so those skills, I'm going to have to learn how to manage money. Apparently, you're not supposed to spend it all on Rolls Royces. That does not contribute to the net worth. Who knew? Didn't tell me that at the Rolls Royce store. They scammed me at the Rolls Royce store. I won't take personal responsibility. It's their fault, all right? Got to learn how to invest, okay? So that's the thing. So here's something to consider, all right? And then we'll take a very brief break, and then we're going to do hot seats and show it all. Here's something to consider, okay? I know I have started by A, making a pitch to you, and B, yelling at you, right? Let me share with you now some really good news to really put this in perspective. Every single one of you has the skill, right? Every one of you. How many people on this planet can take a product people already want, create an ad for that product, stick it in front of those people, and sell it to them? What do you think the number is? There's no one knows, by the way. I always thought it was 100,000. I just arbitrarily think it's 100,000 people. Maybe 100,000 people in the world can actually do that. It doesn't have to be online. It could be through the mail or whatever, but they don't teach it in school. Where are you going to learn how to do that? You know, you're not going to learn it at the University of Georgia. I went there, technically speaking. I was enrolled there for the minimum amount of time one can be enrolled there prior to academic dismissal. They've got this weird thing you're supposed to go, you know, like, whatever. Check cleared. Come on, don't make me go to work. This is terrible. All right, so if you figure the answer to that question, it's 1 million people, which I think is just wildly overstating how many people have the skill. That is 0.014% of the Earth's population. People talk about the 1%. Screw the 1%, man. You're in the 1/10 of 1%. So you've already got the ability. It's just time to take that engine and use it. So this concludes this State of the Internet address, 2016 impromptu iPhone version. Guys, we're going to take a quick break. By quick, I mean like what? What is our time frame here? 20 minutes or something? 20 minutes. Then we're going to do hot seats and showing off. Guys on Facebook will be back if we're still broadcasting. All right, thank you.